how's everybody doing out there tonight? I'm looking at the winds here. I told you I'd do a live stream. It looks like, oh, it's coming up here. All right, so I guess I can see myself here on my live stream and my preview, so that's awesome. So we are here looking at some weather, and let's get right to the observations, because this is where we're going to see some of those high wind gusts. Of course, the wind advisory is up. If you watched my video on YouTube, you saw it was pinpointed where that gust of wind would come in right at 9 p.m. tonight, going in towards 10 p.m. actually, where the winds would get up over 20 miles per hour in the wind gust. And right now we get a wind gust at the Boise airport, 31 miles per hour. I'm not too far from there, and I'm not hearing actually any roar of wind, but it looks like some breezes are kicking up and churning even as we speak. And so, yeah, we got a wind gust of 31 at the Boise airport right now, but that's not the highest wind gust across the region. The highest wind gust is back towards the west. Matter of fact, we've had 50 mile per hour wind gusts. We've had a 60 mile per hour wind gust, as Ontario had a wind gust earlier up over 50 miles per hour. But look at this one up here. This is Catfish Roz. Basically, it's the name of the observation site. It's at 3,500 feet, so that's not too different than just the hills behind Boise. And the wind gust there, 62 miles per hour. Now that will do some damage to some roofs. It'll bring down some tree limbs. It will kick things around pretty good and probably knock down some power lines too up in the high country. So that wind is still back towards the west. You can see that right in through there. Just upstream from that, 46 miles per hour wind gust at Morgan Mountain. That's up around 4,200 feet. So the higher elevations getting a little bit higher winds, but if you come down here to the lower elevations like Ontario, sitting at 2,100 feet, we have a wind gust up around 40 miles per hour right now. 27 as you go back out towards the northwest areas of the Interstate 84 there, Black Canyon Road, 27 mile per hour wind gusts. So nothing really significant, just a little bit of wind, a little breeze, nothing coming through Nampa Caldwell right now, 20 miles per hour, 23 miles per hour. But anywhere from 20 to about 45 miles per hour expected over the next hour across the Treasure Valley. As this expands towards the east, you can see the wind just getting started southeast of Boise down by the airport and going around just south down here towards Simcoe Road, 11 mile per hour wind gusts. So that's probably right where your leading edge of gusty winds are right now, southeast of Boise. Just approaching Simcoe Road, and then back across the region you can see some of these wind barbs with the higher wind gusts. So the wind barbs, basically, that's the lines you see here on the map, and then the little flags gives an indication of just how high the winds are. And so you can see two barbs here on Boise, so that's in knots, both indicate 10, about 20 knots or about 24, 25 mile per hour sustained winds at the Boise airport. If somebody's landing, it'll be a little bumpy, but that's about it. Those pilots are very well trained. And 15 knots around the Nampa Caldwell airport, and 23 gusts. The red numbers here are the gusts. The temperature in the top left of the circle is your air temperature. 81 in Meridian at ID4 Meridian Road, and 79 in Nampa, 78 back down here around the Nampa airport. I believe that's where that is. So not a whole lot of wind going on yet, but as you can see, the system is still back towards the northwest. Matter of fact, we pull up our satellite loop here, and you can see the change, first of all, going from day to night, and then very evident where this curl here is in the clouds of just how much energy is in the atmosphere. So when I look at that, I look at a big pop in the atmosphere that's going to press on through. As a matter of fact, there's so much information on this map, I'm going to stop it, and we're going to talk about it just because I love to talk about weather and stuff like that. So let me go to my mouse draw feature here. And so here's your front, clear as day, carving right in through there. And so that's the cold front itself, and then the winds coming in and out in advance. And then there's a reinforcement trough behind it. And then this jet stream wind, see how these clouds here. That's up around 30,000 feet. And so that's the backside of the trough of low pressure, if you will, kind of doing one of these numbers. And you can see it fanning some of the storms up here. So that's what we're seeing. Is just, let me put that in motion here, give you a little bit of idea of just how the atmosphere is operating. So very clear, the jet stream coming in, diving here, and then right there, just carving itself on up to the north. So very, very good push. Now it's right in this area here. This is where we're going to see the biggest and highest winds as they kind of press towards through overnight tonight. It's going to be that feature right in through there. This is usually where you see the highest winds in that kind of part of the storm systems when they develop. And so this right here is where we'll see the transport of winds coming down through the valley floors as that section gets closer. So the wind advisory is in effect until 3 a.m. So there's a very good chance that we're going to see higher wind gusts as the night presses on across the Treasure Valley. There are some storms back here, but they're not coming in our direction anytime soon. As a matter of fact, let's go to the old Boise radar. I want to allow the flash. And now you can see, I guess it's rain shower activity, not so much in the way of storms, but you can see how they're drifting to the north, going right on up from southwest to northeast, and that'll continue going up from Baker City to Enterprise. I don't see a lot of thunder activity with this, but as that hot air mass, it's been a bubble over the past couple of days, gets the cold air coming underneath it and churning. And I talk about this in my video on YouTube. Be sure to check that out. It gives a long-range forecast of what I think is going to happen. I don't think it's going to heat up as much as folks are probably telling you in the next week time period, but we'll talk about that in the days to come. First things first, as this rain kind of falls into the atmosphere, that's going to send the winds down the Treasure Valley floors. And we've talked about this before in the stream. We can color the raindrops. We can find out just how fast winds are moving across the Treasure Valley. And so here we're seeing some inflows and some outflows getting into that 20 to 45 mile per hour range in the color scale here just behind my head. Let me stream it up rather. Now you can see green's going towards the radar, red's going away from the radar. That's how we tell if there's a tornado or something, because the red in the green is not a good thing, because that means you're getting one of these things, a twist in the atmosphere. But we don't have any tornadoes to worry about tonight or anything like that, just these high gusty winds coming in from the northwest. And then as we go from the radar beam, which is just south of Boise, it goes up on an angle and gets higher and higher in elevations. Look back towards Baker City. Now you see some of these bright reds up here. That's when you're getting into the higher levels of the atmosphere where we saw earlier that 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And so we're starting to see these brighter shades of reds back up here around Baker City. Pretty awesome stuff. So that's where that is right there. But back to the observations here. And let's see what our latest winds are, as I just refreshed it here. Still the highest wind I'm seeing is that 62 back here north, around 3,500 feet. And then you can see there's a lot of wind energy kind of building across the region. It's sitting back towards Ontario, back up there towards Baker City. Notice the temperature differences too. I mean, this is a pretty good thing. As a matter of fact, I looked at this earlier. Let me see if I can find La Grande. Morgan Mountain, where's La Grande? Oh, there's Baker. That's a little bit higher over than us. But La Grande is pretty much almost the same elevation as Boise. We're at 2,800 feet in Boise. La Grande is at 2,700 feet. Notice the temperature there, 62 degrees. 62 degrees, same elevation. That's the kind of air mass, the big change we have coming our way. Going from the 90s, going to drop into the 60s here in a short amount of time as we go through the next 3 to 4 hours or so. And that churns the atmosphere as the cold air undercuts it coming on down. So pretty cool stuff. A little weather 101 there. It looks like that's 25 mile per hour sustained winds now at the Ontario airport, and 20 mile per hour sustained winds at the Boise airport. 23 actually, to be exactly, because it's the knots, the knot nautical mile. A little different than the miles per hour that we measure. So that's kind of where we're going with this forecast. I think the concerns will be power outages in some areas, some tree limbs down, and when you get this, power line coming down, there could be sparks and so maybe fires form, and there could be some rapidly moving fires, so watch out for that. Generally, we'll hear the roar of the wind going in towards the midnight hour, as I mentioned on my video earlier. Let's see if I can bring you those. If you didn't see the video, I encourage you to watch it. It's the best. It's like Emmy performance. It's epic. No, I'm just kidding. So here's the maps I put in that video, which was right on kind of the target. So this was 10 p.m. Wind gusts at 10 p.m. with the blue was the 40 to 55 mile per hour wind gust area, and we have seen some reports up there around Ontario and back up to the northwest, where we even have a 62 mile per hour wind gust. And in the orange area here, this line as of 10 p.m. was a leading edge of 20 mile per hour gusts and higher, and that is pressed towards the east. Let's see if it goes for me. There you go. So this is going in towards 11 o'clock, and at 11 o'clock things will get a little interesting here. Just about 25 minutes or so. Once the surge of wind starts to really develop and settle on in between, say, now and midnight, we'll see a little pocket of maybe some winds up there in the top left hand of your screen, opposite of this corner down here. So I guess that would be up there. Yeah, up there. If I'm pointing wrong, it's a blooper. All right. Never made a mistake in my life, ever. You were here to see the first mistake ever. Back up around this, those blue areas is where I'm seeing winds 40 to 55 mile per hour gusts, potentially. And you can see a lot of that happening down south around Kuna, back over towards Lake Lowell. And then going in towards midnight, you can see most of the orange areas, which is 20 to 40 mile per hour gusts. Typically not a huge deal. But then there's a large area of winds in the old 40 to 55 mile per hour gust developing almost from Marsing all the way back down towards Mountain Home. So that's the concerns overnight tonight. I do believe some folks will see a little bit of power outages. I don't think it's going to be a widespread event, but I do think that we are going to see pockets of some damage come into tomorrow morning. Then the other thing is the temperature. So I'm looking at temperatures dropping considerably. Today, high temperature was 98. We had a low this morning is 60. You can see that wind advisory goes until 3 a.m. But notice Thursday and Friday, we drop temperatures into the 80s. And then Saturday, temperatures come back up with breezy conditions. Notice the winds. Breezy tomorrow, too. We'll get northwest winds, 10 to 30 miles per hour, 84 degrees. And then we drop back into overnight low temperatures going into Friday morning in the 50s. How refreshing is that? Turn off the AC, open the windows. Great times. And then we jump back into the 90s on Saturday, and then there's a little push of cooler air that kind of settles on in on Sunday. And that's where that wind that you see there on Saturday kind of kicks up and pushes some cooler air our way, and slightly cooler. Still beautiful for the weekend. Monday, sunny but 90, light winds, and then mostly sunny and 93. The model's really enhancing the temperature Tuesday and Wednesday. I think that the model I'm leaning towards and looking at basically shows a lag in the system developing. So I'm going to postpone temperatures on Wednesday going up near 100. We'll drop and keep it around 96. And I also think there'll be some clouds rolling on in to limit some of the heating. But either way you cut it, it's going to be hot. 96 to 102 in that range. I still think that it's all in the same ballpark. But that's the differences. And then you can see this line. The model did a really good job. Just above my head, right up there, the line of showers picking up. So very, very, pretty impressive with that line. Let's see if I can see some of these Facebook comments here. See what we got going on. I don't know if I've got any comments in there. I think I'm on the stream page. Hello, hey, look, 50 years of marriage. So Wayne Dzubak, I love Wayno. Really cool stuff. Maybe I'm not live right now. I thought I was. kind of stinky. Facebook, what are you doing to me? Carl Mitchell. Any update? I'm supposed to be live right now, Carl, but I don't see it live. Bummer. Why am I not live? Am I live? I don't know. I don't know if I'm live. Live video. Permission denied. Connect. It says I'm up live. I don't know what's going on. I had to do something different here with the YouTube thing. Crazy. I know I'm live on YouTube, so if you're going to switch over there. I'm pretty sure I'm live on YouTube. Yeah, I am live on YouTube. Woohoo! I don't know if I have anybody watching, but I'm live. So maybe this will be posted up the video later on. So what is Facebook doing? I'm telling you, Facebook just playing with people. What is going on? It says go live. I've already been live. I don't see anything here on live. All right. I guess I wasn't live. I'll go and have to dive in and see what's going on. Facebook censoring Vin Crosby. How dare they? Don't they know who I am? Did you know who I am? All right. This was quite a mess. Hope you enjoy the video. I'm gone. Bye-bye.